I was playing a little bit of this between recording the last bunch of episodes and sitting down to record this upcoming bunch of episodes, and I realized something. I realized that I have been an idiot because we were trying to put a bunch of things on one conveyor and then use a filter to move it to another conveyor. We don't actually need to do that. A lot of what I've been doing has been this right here, having one conveyor come out of the front of a building because the building will automatically supply an item onto the conveyor if it comes out the front of the building. We can look at that because we have this green arrow, and that green arrow is the output of the building. We have a bunch of other arrows into the building. But that's not the only way that this has to work. We don't just have one building output. We can have multiple. So what I've actually done is I've set up two conveyors out of the forge over here. One of them is going to supply the, the barn with the iron plates, and then this other one is supplying nails. Now the forge can only make one item at a time. So at the minute, it's making nails, and it's making a whole bunch of them. In fact, we've almost finished filling this barn over here. But this is important for a different reason. These grabbers, which will just grab an item from a building and put it on a conveyor, mean that we don't have to use just one output on a building. So you might have an idea of where this is going. Yeah, I fixed this farm over here. This farm is now running pretty well. It's going really quickly, and it's not backing up anymore. We're not in a situation where it's not working the way I figured it could. Am I making sense? I'm stuttering over my words here, but the point is, I was an idiot because I completely forgot about the grabbers. I completely forgot that they were a thing. So what we've done as a result is we have a barn here completely full of cloth. We have this right here getting really well supplied with cotton, and actually I think, yeah, a barn there completely full of cloth conveyor belts as well. Now, that's not the only thing that happened between episodes. I also managed to unlock machinery, so we can start working towards some metal conveyor belts today. And I'm also thinking we might as well work towards boat building and medicine. So I'm going to work towards both of those at the same time. I'm not in any major rush to get those. They're going to take a little bit of time to unlock, but that's okay by me. So we'll let those take their time because I kind of want to see what we need to do to get these metal things. So a machine shop seems like it's going to be a must-have because we want metal conveyor belts, which are made in the machine shop. And they're also apparently sellable, which is lovely. So the machine shop itself down here is going to require reinforced planks. We also have a packager, which bundles and unpacks items for transporting greater quantities, which is also going to need reinforced planks. Now, reinforced planks, I believe, are made in workshops and are made from planks, iron plates, and nails. Now, the good news is we have a lot of planks, we have a lot of iron plates, and we have a lot of nails. So what I'm thinking I might do is, and it's very tempting to do this, is actually set up a splitter or just a grabber that'll pull stuff directly out of this lumber mill. We'll go up and over. We can have it go in. You know what? I'm not going to talk. We're going to do it. We're just going to do it. There's no point just sort of rambling on about what I think we could do. I'm pretty sure we can do this. So I want to get myself a cloth conveyor belt, and I want to go here. I want to go here. I want to go underneath. So right there. And then I want to do, and I hope this works, because if it doesn't, it's going to be a little bit awkward, but I hope this works. A scaffold ramp there. And I want to go scaffold block. And I want to go scaffold ramp. And then I want to do, I believe we're going to want a wooden arch here to make sure the items keep going underneath. Then we'll do some scaffold blocks here, just because we might as well. And we'll do our arches just the whole way across again, like this. And we'll do some more scaffold blocks, just a little bit like that, with some arches on it. So, my thinking, and this might be slightly tricky because I'm going to need to take some, I'm going to need a splitter coming in off of this side as well, but we'll Actually, that should be relatively easy, I think. Let's just try a little something here. Basically, I'm gonna have all of the materials needed to make what I want to make. I'm gonna have them all on conveyor belts over here. We're gonna have a dedicated space for these reinforced planks. So if we go to arches here, and we place one there, and we place one there. If we then go to paths and go to cloth conveyor belt, we can go like this. We can go like this. We can go here. And we can go here. And now what we've got is the opportunity to put a logistic block. We can put a splitter right there, which is going to primarily push nails in that direction. We can put a splitter. Well, we can put one right there, which is then going to push the iron plates in that direction. And then if we come over here with a cloth conveyor belt, we can go straight across to there. We can put a grabber right here. And if we set it to only grab the planks, which it will only grab planks, and it's not grabbing them super efficiently. This will need to, this will take time to back up a little bit. But what we've got, all of a sudden, is all three of the items that we need to pump into a workshop to start making the reinforced planks. So I'm thinking what I'm going to try and do is take out those three things there. I want to go to buildings, I want to go to workshop, and I want to put it right there. And I hope this works. If we go reinforced plank, we have all three items going into the workshop. The workshop is now making the reinforced planks, and we can move those into a barn somewhere. So yeah, I've kind of... Oh, is this going slowly? This actually might be going a little bit slowly here. There is a solid chance. Yeah, so the output is picking up again. Obviously, that's not as quick as it would have been coming out of the barn, but I think that's okay. I think it's still probably fast enough, so I'm not too worried about that. I do realize the flaw in my plan is that this doesn't output two materials at once. So we might actually need to pull out of the warehouse over there. Oh, that's annoying. What if we just did a second workshop or a second forge? We could do that. We could do a second forge. That's... Oh, that caught me off guard, didn't it? Okay. Okay. That's annoying, but it's not impossible to fix that. I said at the start of the video, this only makes one thing at a time, and then we immediately did that. That's... Okay. We'll do a second forge, I think. That's just gonna be the way of it. So get rid of you. Give me a conveyor belt here. That makes no major difference, conveyor belt or not there, but what we can do is, I want to flatten the land around here a little bit. So if we go to tools and say, flatten terrain up a bit, I think this should work. Not entirely sure. There we go. So we'll flatten the terrain up like that. It's going to cost us a little bit to do that, but that's okay. We can go ahead and put another... Let's see here. What are we looking for? Another forge. So another forge can go right there. And this one is going to start making iron plate. This one over here is going to be making the nails. So we're going to put a conveyor belt there. It's not going to work immediately, but then we put a grabber, and suddenly it is. So this one does nails. And we have, what, 3 workers over here? Let's say one of you at least is going to start putting stuff into there. And then what we can do, because this is still outputting nails at the minute, is we can just wait for storage to be empty, which it is. We can clear up the conveyor bit here. And what I think I'm going to do is bring a conveyor belt out of here alongside up to there. So it's still going to use the same little stretch of conveyor, just not exactly the same stretch of conveyor. So it's just a very slight tweak to what I was wanting to do. All right, it's nothing too major. It's just a slight change of plan. But there we go. That should still have the same effect. That should still do what we want it to do. It's still going to produce. It's still going to make the nails. And it's going to be a little bit slow. I think we could maybe do with another... we could actually do a chute there. A shoot back there might be a really good idea. So let's do it. Let's just get right to it. I mean, I've kind of given up at the minute on the idea of any of this being neat because it's just not going to be. It's really, really just not going to be a neat layout that we have here. But that's kind of okay. I mean, this is like the longest, I guess, save file that I have in this game thus far. This is very much a learning experience for me. So I'm excited to learn. I'm excited to see what we can do here. I'm excited to see what kind of automation we can get into. So it's not a big deal that it's a little bit messy. That's not a big deal at all. The good news is this is actually already full of reinforced planks. So if we were to have the output of that go here, we can then throw a barn just in front of it right there. So that's going to start dumping the reinforced planks into the barn. That's going to keep the production going. And that's going to mean we can get a massive, massive stockpile of those reinforced planks. And if we need to grab these out of the barn at any point, we can set up a conveyor to do it. But this does mean that in time, we're going to be able to get the specialty goods thing. It means that we're going to be able to get the machine shop or the packager because we have all the other things. And it means as well that our workshops can start making pickaxes, which we can then sell. So pickaxes are going to be iron plates and reinforced planks. And that's okay. We can totally make that work. We actually have more iron ore down here, so we could put another gathering spot, another forge here to make the iron plates. We could get another lumber mill here to supply it. So we get our iron plates done here. We get our reinforced planks from here. We have a little workshop. We start making the pickaxes. We have, I don't know, some wagons. Grab them from here and take them over to the general store. Or we just set up a massive conveyor system to grab them from here and take them to the general store. We could do whatever. There's a lot of potential here. And it's also good news because I realize when we get this workshop, when we get the reinforced planks, we can upgrade the base again. So that seems like a beautiful thing to me. This setup with the grabbers has completely turned me around on automation here. I was a little worried about this system, but then I looked at my logistic blocks and I was like, oh yeah, the grabbers, those are fantastic things. So that's kind of where we're at. Let's see here. This is actually coming along really well. I'm actually quite surprised at how well that's coming along. Boat building's nearly done. That's beautiful news. Okay. Let's see. How is, so this is actually a little bit slow, isn't it? We could speed that up, but then I don't know that we need to. I mean, this is doing pretty well for itself. I think for the time being, we could just maybe, grab a couple more of these guys, get them just really going to town on the iron depositing there, try and dump a whole bunch of it at any one time. So that should speed things up. We'll probably fire a couple of those guys later on once the barn is full. But that absolute spaghetti junction of conveyors is a production line. I love that. Absolutely love that. We're using half the nails and half the iron in crafting, and the other half goes to storage. That's a really satisfying thing for me. I also realize our barn here is a little bit low on raw stone, so one of you guys is actually going to dump it into the chute there. Not that we're super low, but I'd like to make sure that we stay nice and full on that. So now that that's going ahead, let's take a look and see what else we can do here. I want to make sure I've not missed anything else. So obviously the metal conveyor belts, it doesn't actually say what it needs to make those. I can certainly assume though. We have this harvester drill. I haven't actually read this yet. Slow moving but powerful drill with a high carrying capacity. Can harvest hard minerals that workers cannot. Needs gears, needs iron wheels, needs iron plates, takes up 2 worker slots, and uses 200 yellow coins. That's ridiculous. A worker unit that can travel on water surfaces and harvest lots of fish. That's going to be quite useful as well. Allows transport of high quantities of goods over long distances. A minecart might be exactly what we need to move our pickaxes to the general store. That might be exactly what we need. How do we get a minecart? Is it so railways? That'll unlock the rails themselves, but it doesn't say anything about the minecart. And I'm not seeing anything down here about the minecart. I'd assume that it would come with railways. Now, railways are going to consume blue coins. That's my worry there. So maybe that's long-term goal with pickaxes. Maybe we're not doing that anytime soon. Not really sure. Interesting. This kitchen seems to be pretty full there. Wonder if we want to get a wagon working on that. Oh, we got the fishing boat already. Beautiful. Okay, workers, fishing boat. It's actually something we could make. I don't think we'll get it right now, although we could do some fishing. We could set up this area down here. That was something I kind of had in mind at one point. We might do that shortly. Let's just, let's see, we're on 50 there. Let's start working towards the distributes and sells rare and magical items to nearby houses. I don't know that I need this. I just don't know that we need this. I kind of want it, though, just to get it out of the way. It's a little expensive, but maybe? It says nearby houses. That's interesting. Nearby houses 0. Maybe we'll not bother with that right now. Let's just go with the machine shop, since that is a thing we're going to be wanting. And I think I do want the machine shop to be here. I think I do want it in this area. The good news is, if it's in this area, we can technically set it up with a bunch of warehouses over here as well. Now, these warehouses, I'm looking at them, I'm thinking they should probably be further apart than I've made them. But we can make it work. So the machine shop is going to go right there. And in here, we can make gears. Can we make anything? Oh, we can only make one thing at once. That's a little disappointing. So it would use cloth conveyor belts. It would use iron plates and gears to make metal conveyor belts, which is, I assume, faster than the cloth conveyor belts. So better for long distance. Okay. So my question becomes, if I can't make, I mean, I need what? I don't need iron wheels right now, but I do need gears, and I can't make those at the same time as a metal conveyor belt. So technically, I would need 2 of these buildings. That's interesting. Fortunately, gears are just made from iron plates, but that's interesting. That's a lot of work is what that is. I mean, we could do it. I think production-wise here, we could probably afford to get away with it. I might try it. I might give it a shot. It might not be a terrible idea. Do a second machine shop, set it up for gears exclusively. Let's see, can we afford it right now? No, we don't have 40 of these. How many do we have? 33? So what, we'd set it up here, I guess? I mean, I guess that would be the spot for it. It's a really cool looking building too. Like, it's really cool looking. I love the big wheel on the side of it and that proper industrial look about it. That's very, very cool looking. Really, really digging that. Let's see. So this is actually produced. It's 10 seconds per thing. Good Lord. Okay. Give me 2 more workers in there. Let's get that down to 5 seconds per thing there. That's way, way too long. Let's see. So, machine shop. We need 1 more of these. And I am going to do this. I'm going to try that right there. You're going to be making gears. You're going to be making, let's see, metal conveyor belts. And I guess what we need to do, and this is going to be a little bit silly here, but I'm going to try this. So give me some structural blocks. Let me build up like this. Let me build to... Oh, this is going to be very, very silly. Let me build to here. And let me try some arches. So if I place some arches along here, that should all still be fine. The arches are technically supported. Place a little arch down there and give me not stairs, but a scaffold ramp. And then we're gonna basically split the already split line. Right? So that can go that way. With... Ooh, medicine! Oh no, that's something that we do want to start making at some point, because that'll make people really happy, and happiness is the key to everything in this game. That's another thing we need to keep in mind, is we have very much been neglecting happiness around here. Anyway, what I'm thinking is basically this. Right? So we bring this along... We're already like, this isn't going to be a super efficient line. This is going to be split again, by the way, so keep that in mind. But what we do is bring this over to here, bring it to, like, about there, right? So we set up both of those, and we put another splitter right there, and basically 50% of those bars will go into each of those. So we're dividing it here already, we're dividing it here, and then we're dividing it here. So it's some pretty serious division going on there. It really, really is. But it technically works. All we would really need to do is get more people bringing iron ore into this forge and increase the speed at which the forge works. So if we go and say, you know, give me another 2 workers in there. All right. The only problem is we now don't necessarily have enough iron going in there, but it technically works. It is going to slow down production on the reinforced planks, but it technically works. All right, and a technicality, that's a victory. All right, so now the gears start going in here, right? All we need are the cloth conveyor belts, and then we can start making metal conveyor belts. So what we do is, you guessed it, we're going to set up another splitter if we can. I think we can. I'm pretty sure we can. Let's, I think we have a little bit of room in there. We could technically bring it out the front of the barn, actually, but I'd rather bring it from the back. So, let's see here. Structural, ramp. Oh, is this going to be, are we going to have enough clearance? I think we are. So ramp up and over, then an arch, and then a ramp sort of back down. I didn't realize I could actually have them hover like that. That's interesting. You know, we could, we wouldn't be able to filter that, actually. Can we, is there such a thing as a blocker? There is. Prevent item from moving on a path block. I wonder if I put a blocker on this side of the splitter, would that work? I think we'll avoid doing that, to be honest. But let's just do our conveyor. First off, let's do our splitter. So splitter goes there, then pathways. I might actually keep this raised up, just looking at it. Might not be a bad idea. Let's also clear out some of the resources here so we can cut straight through there. That is going to hurt the forester here a little bit, but I think they'll manage, to be totally honest. So scaffold block there, and then give me some of these so that people can walk through there. And then we'll do our scaffold blocks, and we'll just bring it, oh, this might be interesting. This could be very interesting. I'd like to keep some, like, a way through here. So maybe we go ahead and we remove that resource as well. So we'll keep the scaffold blocks coming across to about there. And then we're going to turn that into the pillar scaffolding. And then the arches. And so people can walk through there, no problem. We'll put our blocks here, we'll put our ramps in, and that will just go down and turn straight into there. And that will give us a supply of 50% of our cloth conveyor belts into this production. There we go, 50% that way, and the other lot going into storage. Not that that necessarily makes sense. I mean, if we can increase our production to be exclusively metal conveyors, then we might as well, I suppose. But at least this way, we are actually going to start making metal conveyor belts. And technically speaking, I could set up a conveyor belt system that will take them out of here and into a barn over there, which, I mean, we have the cutaway here already for it, so I might as well, I suppose. I guess we'll do that. It's going to be, remember I described this earlier as a spaghetti junction of conveyor belts? Well, that is exactly what it is. And I'm going to be totally honest with you. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's great. So that's something I'm fine with. We can actually snake it around back there as well, which is even better. We're not going to have to take out any more of the trees. So let's see, paths, conveyor belts. We'll take out that tree just so it can go straight along. All right, so path, conveyor belt. Let's have it go here. It'll go like this, and right in there, please let me do it. Okay, I don't think it's going to let me. Hold on. Conveyor belt there, and then the arch needs to go over the top. So the arch goes back on there with the conveyor belts up above. So there we go. We have metal conveyor belts moving into storage. We have cloth conveyor belts moving across. It does look like the production of them. It is a little bit slow, isn't it? But I mean, once the barn fills up, honestly, I suppose it'll be a bit better, because then they'll all be going over here. So yeah, production of this is slow, needless to say. Production of this is very slow, and it's 12 seconds per metal conveyor, so this is going to need more workers as well. But that absolute mess right there, and it is a mess, but it's actually kind of satisfying to look at, I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of digging it a lot. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. I'm also thinking one of you guys could maybe start moving stuff into the forge, because good lord, it needs it. It's making so much right now. And I'm assuming, yeah, not a lot of it is getting into that barn. Not a lot of it. Not enough of it is getting into that barn, that's for sure. So hopefully this thing can be supplied really nicely. In fact, I'm wondering if it'd be worth setting up a chute system for it, because I think a chute might be quicker. Might be. I'm also thinking one of you guys could, you know, go work at that as well. So only 2 people are supplying this forge, and I think 4 are supplying this one now. So that should help a bit with the production. I think we could probably get away with... We could probably get away with upgrading this, but it's what, every 2 seconds we get an iron plate? I think that's alright. I think that's okay. So how many of these do we have? We have 8 of them. Okay. Where can I put 8 of these just to see how fast they are? I don't really know. I guess we could use them there, but that's probably a waste. We could use them here. Maybe not. Maybe we'll just hold off, because again, 12 seconds is some pretty serious time. That's some pretty serious time. And this division over here. So what? Let me figure this out. So what are we doing? We're going 100% here, 50% that way, 50% that way, right? And then I would guess that 50 becomes 25 that way, 25 that way, and then 12.5 that way, 12.5 that way. So 12.5% of what comes out of this is going into there and then there. 25, so yeah, 25% of it goes down there, 25 in there, and then, yeah, 50 under this bit, 50 under this. So 50% of it's still going into the barn, which is good. We could probably shrink that, honestly, because I'm not even sure there's any building that uses... well, the apothecary does, but we can only have one of them. And then looking further down, it doesn't actually say what else would use it, but I'm definitely thinking more than 50% of it could probably... Well, I guess at this point, I take that back. 100% of it right now is going along here, because this path is full. Because the barn is full, 100% is going here, so 50-50 and then 25-25. So it's not as bad as it would be if this barn was empty. If this barn had nothing in it, things would be a little bit worse.